Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Gamer Luigi. Welcome back to a brand new video. And today, I brought Yu-Gi-Oh back. I apologize for not uploading any Yu-Gi-Oh content for the last days, but I seriously didn't have anything to talk about. But now I do. So today is going to be the first review of a certain structure deck in my channel, and it's gonna be Cyberse Links, a structure deck that hasn't been released to the TCG yet, but in the OCG there's already confirmed deck list, and I think it's already released. So Cyberse Links, guys, if you haven't heard about this certain structure deck, you guys have to step it on a bit. This structure deck is pretty much amazing. Like, this structure deck, it's so good. It has so many good reprints, and at the same time is good because the variety of new Cyberse monsters they introduce and new parallel monsters, it's pretty much mind-blowing. Like, this is amazing for the Link format. I'm seriously so glad they're actually introducing this, because Cyberse monsters needed a huge support, and this structure deck contains a ton of support for it. So, before we start with the actual OCG deck list, I would like to start showing you guys a screenshot of the confirmed cards to the TCG one, so you guys have an idea. So there it is. So we have Jester Confit, Cosmic Cyclone, Dimensional Barrier, and Storming Mirror Force. Those are amazing reprints for a freaking structure deck into a common. Of course, the barrier, it's not that good now, especially since it doesn't affect Link monsters, unfortunately. But in general, if you really needed some spare dimensional barriers and you're still playing the traditional format, this card is so good to you to get, and it's gonna be more cheap because it's gonna be in a freaking structure deck. And you guys have no idea what other cards have been reprinted to this structure deck in the OCG, but we're gonna get to that later after we go throughout first the new cards from the structure deck first, because it's from the top of the list. So I'm gonna start from the top of the list to the bottom, so it will be more organized, and then because from the top it gives the new cards, and then on the bottom gives the cards we already knew about. So we're gonna start off with Digitron, which is one of the few common monsters from this structure deck. So Digitron, it's a normal 2-star. Primarily you're gonna use this for link summoning. It's a 1500 attack, 0 defense. Its card description is a species found in electronic space. Somehow there's quite a bit of information about that. This monster is probably one of my favorites from the new set, from this new structure deck, sorry, not set. It's Studscape. So it's a level 1 Cyberse effect monster. It has 0 attack but 2100 defense. That's a ton, especially for a level 1. And its effect is pretty good. If this card's sent to the GY graveyard, you can special summon it. And if this card's banished, you can special summon it. And you can use only one Dotscaper effect per turn, and only use each effect of Dotscaper once per duel. So you can literally use it to special summon it, either see in the graveyard or see when it's banished, just once. That, like, itself, that's a good card to run. Like, you can actually, I'm sure when this card comes out, probably it's gonna hit the ban list, because its effect is good. Like, not hit like getting banned. Like, what I mean is getting like semi-limited or limited, because it's like a glow up ball pretty much. Instead of actually just mellowing the top of the card, you can literally just special summon it. Like, in your own will, there's no downside. And you can special summon it twice, because you can special summon it if it's in the graveyard and if it's in the managed area. So Dotscaper, it's going to be pretty good, especially with the link summoning. And it's a great cyber support. So the new Cyberse link monsters that are coming on this structure, they're going to get huge support from Dotscaper. Then coming up next, we have Clay Ant. It's a 3-star Cyberse effect monster with 1500 attack and defense. Its current effect is this one. Well, this normal or set cards on the field. Cyberse Monsters, you control gain 500 attack and defense during your turn only. Of course, it won't be that overpowered. And if this card's on the field will be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can destroy one Cyberse Monster you control or in your hand instead. So, again, Kainan, it's another cyber support, but it supports your other Cyberse monsters, giving them attack during your turn, and if it were to be destroyed, you can destroy another useless Cyberse monster you have in the hand or on the field. Again, this is what I mean. You can literally send Dunscaper to the grave, and you negate the destruction of Kainan, and you can actually special summon it on your next turn from your graveyard. It's insane. Like, these new Cyberse cards have like sick combos. Then another one of my favorite monsters from this set, Backlinker. It's a Cyberse effect monster, 3-star monster with 1600 attack. Its effect, it's pretty good though. If only your opponent controls a monster in the extra monster zone, you can special summon this card from your hand, and you can tribute this card to shuffle all monsters in the extra monster zones into the deck. And you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn. Mind blowing. Like, let's say you go second, you have this in your hand. Pretty much, if you're bricked and you cannot literally special summon everything, you can pretty much just special summon it, because most than likely, then that your opponent actually has a link monster in his field. Sorry for the cut there. So yeah, like I was saying, like, let's say you bricked, and you actually you have Backlinker in your hand. You can literally special summon it, and at the same time you special summon it, tell me if I'm wrong, you can tribute it, and you can immediately shuffle back all what your opponent used to special summon. Like you bricked, and you're like, no, fuck off, shuffle all that shit back to your extra deck. Like, it's so good. And even if you're bricked, it's good because you can even special summon. So the effect of you cannot special summon from the extra deck is pretty much use Backlinker when you start your second when you start after your opponent goes first, and if you bricked, you can use it, and it's so good. And it doesn't say you can special summon it, discard once per turn, but either way, yeah, you look at multiple summon Backlinkers if you have in your hand, and you can tribute one of those Backlinkers. So yeah, this structure deck is bringing a ton of new cyber support, and their effects are amazing. So next up we have Balancer Lord. Balancer Lord is get this, it's a level 4. You can actually exceed this with level 4. It's a light, and there's a ton of rank 4 monsters that require light attributes. So again, Balancer Lord will work well with Exceeds monsters. It has 1700 attack and 1200 defense. Once per turn, you can pay 1000 life points. You can normal summon a Cyberse monster in your main phase this turn, in addition to a normal summoner set. And you can only get this effect once per turn. Of course, it will be pretty bulky, and you can multiple normal summon. If this card's banished, you can special summon one level 4 or lower monster from your hand, and you can only use the effect of Balancer Lord once per turn. So pretty much, again, it's a huge support card. You can actually combine stuff to actually make that Balancer Lord gets banished from your field or hand, and you can actually special summon monsters from your hand. So that's pretty neat. And then coming up next card, we have Rom Claudia. So Rom Claudia is another variation of the Rom monster from the Link Strike. So yeah, as you guys can see, we have a variation of Link monsters from Link Strike and from Cyberse Links. So it's a Cyberse effect, level 4 again, works with rank 4s. It's a 1800 attack monster. When this card's normal summon, you can target one Cyberse monster in your graveyard except Claudia, add it to your hand. And if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon one level 4 lower Cyberse monster from your deck except Claudia. So, pretty much, again, a huge support card for Cyberse monsters. This is insane. Like, targeting Cyberse monsters added to your hand, destroyed by battle, special summon a Cyberse monster, level 4 or lower, from your deck. That's insane. Like, you can pretty much make insane link summoning combos with Cyberse link monsters immediately. Like, Cyberse, I'm sure there's gonna get a huge buffs when this structure comes out. Then coming up next, we have Boots the Guard. It's a 5-star Cyberse effect monster with 2,300 attack and 500 defense. When a Cyberse monster is normal summoned to the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. It's amazing. You can literally get a link monster immediately. And you can only use this effect to put guard once per turn. Of course, it will be broken if it wasn't. And when this card inflict battle damage to your opponent, you can special summon one stack token. So pretty much, if you want to get that instant new encode talker or decode talker, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to call it, like, I mean, you can special summon encode or decode. You can, like, normal summon your Cyberse, then special summon this guy, and then go to your battle phase, attack with this guy, inflict damage to your opponent. If you did, special summon the token, then your main phase 2, immediately go for encode talker or decode talker. That's pretty much pretty good. Like, it's almost a one card encode talker. Not if it was for its effect that you have to attack and inflict damage to your opponent to special summon this card. I mean, to special summon the token to actually use it for link summoning. And finally, the last new monster from this structure deck. Then the rest of the cards, okay, I was gonna show you guys throughout the screen. I'm not gonna explain them because I'm 100% confident you guys know which cards are this, and I'm gonna leave the link monsters for the last. So we have Dual Assembrum. I hope I said that right. It's a Cyberse effect monster with 8 stars, 2,800 attack, and 100 defense. Here's this guy's effect. If this card's in your hand or graveyard, you can banish 2 Cyberse monsters from your hand or face up in the field to special summon this card, but its attack is halved. And you can only use this effect of Dual Assembly Arm once per turn. And once per turn, you can banish 1 card from your hand and banish 1 monster on the field with attack less than or equal to this card's. So, I guess the only thing that goes through my mind is, remember those Cyberse monsters that we said you can banish them? Well, if let's say you have the only possible combo I can think of with Dual Assembler, if that is you banish Dotscaper and Balancer Lord, because their effects can be triggered when they're banished. So that's the only idea I can give for this card to be good, because banishing other Cyberse monsters are not that good. Their effects cannot be used throughout being the banished areas. So I would recommend Dual Assembly if you can actually use it with Dotscaper and Balancer Lord, because their effects activate when they're banished. Because you special summon Dotscaper and you can actually search when Balancer Lord's banished. So that's good. And again, its other effect is good because since you can special summon it by banishing, and its attack gonna be halved, you can actually banish. Banish because its attack is gonna be so low, so you can immediately target like a puny monster your opponent has, pretty much. And yeah, that's all the new monsters from the normal structure deck. We're gonna go through the new link monsters into the end. So now I'm gonna go throughout the list of the cards that it brings. So it brings Tragodia, Summoner Monk, White Dragon Wyvern Buster, Black Dragon Collapse Grenade, Card Trooper, Debris Dragon, a Mathematician, Crane, Morphing Jar, Magician of Faith, Treeborn Frog, Jester Confid, Glow Up Bulb, Kinja Bio, Sign at the Backdoor, Soul Charge, Shuffle Reborn, DDR Different Dimension Reincarnation, Gold Sarcophagus, Mind Control, Cosmic Cyclone, Moon Mirror Shield, Where Art Thou, Recoded Alive, Premature Return, Swamp Mirror, Quantum Cat, Storming Mirror Force, Dimensional Barrier, and Solemn Strike. Have you been mind blown right now? These cards have so amazing reprints. Like, once I was reading this on Reddit, and I was like, it can't be that good. So I went to the card list of the official OCG, and I was like, fucking mind blown. Like, this card has so amazing sets. So amazing reprints, sorry. Like, freaking Solemn Strike, a fucking over $30 card, Storming Mirror Force, almost a $10 card, Dimensional Barrier, almost a $15 card that was before, Cosmic Cyclone. Like, this is insanity. And it has amazing monsters again. Oh my god, this set is so good. Like, you guys have to get it out when it comes in November. Well, enough with my hype with the new cards. Now let's go with the finale, the new Link monsters. So we have Encode Talker. So it's a variation of the Decode Talker. So here's the Encode Talker. It's a Cyberse Link effect monster. Its arrows are on top, bottom, and bottom right. Materials, 2 Cyberse monsters. So this is what I said. He actually needs Cyberse monsters to summon this monster. So you indeed have to have Cyberse support in order to summon Encode Talker. So its current effect is 2 Cyberse monsters. Once per turn, if your monster discard points to battles, an opponent's monster with higher attack, before damage calculation, you can make your monster unable to be destroyed by that battle. You take no battle damage from that battle, and also after damage calculation, discard or one of the monsters it points to gains attack equal to the current attack of that monsters until the end of this turn. That's sick. Like, this variation of Econ Talker is pretty good. Sadly, again, this is what I said. It requires Cyberse monsters, and I know with the new Cyberse support it's gonna be easier to summon, but there's not a huge variation of Cyberse monsters yet. So if you're gonna play Encode Talker once this card comes out in the TCG, have a good variation with the other monsters, because as you can see, it can target one of your opponent's monsters because it's on the top, and you can target 2 monsters from your zone, the bottom and bottom right. Coming up to the next Link monster, we have Binary Sorceress. So it's like a proxy dragon. What I mean is like a proxy dragon is because his arrows are in left and right. So it's a Cyberse Link effect monster. Materials, 2 monsters except tokens. Yeah. So you cannot summon this except tokens. Yeah, tokens are getting kind of a nerf because tokens are literally getting like so overpowered Link summoning, especially with the Gofu. And I'm seriously not surprised if Gofu hits the ban list or this limited or semi-limited in the upcoming ban list from December. And fucking Konami, give the freaking ban list already. So, Binary Sorceress. 2 monsters except tokens. This card gains effects depending on the number of monsters co-linked to it. So if it has 1 or more, when a monster co-linked to this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent from an attack involving an opponent's monster, you can gain life points equal to the battle damage. And if it has 2, once per turn, quick effect, you can target 2 face-up monsters to control. The attack of one of those monsters become half its current attack, and if it does, the other monster that gains the lost attack, these changes last until the end of this turn. So again, it's like a support Link monster to the Link to the cold Link monsters to it. So So you have to be pretty well aware of which monster you have in your left and your right of binary sources to actually get good combos with it. And finally, the last card to finish up this review video is Tri-Get Wizard. So Tri-Get Wizard, I think it will be pretty good if you actually summon it like below the extra monster zone, since its arrows are in top, left, and right. It's a Cyberse Link effect monster, of course. It requires 2+ monsters, but again, it cannot be used with tokens. And if this card is against effects depending on the number of monsters calling to it, it's like binary sorceress, just with different effects. But in this case, it's 3 because it has 3 arrows. 1. If a monster calling to this card battles an opponent's monster, any battle damage it inflicts to your opponent is doubled. 2. Once per turn, you can target one card on the field, banish it. And 3. Once per turn, when a card effect is activated, with effect you can engage with the activation, and if you do, banish this card. So you pretty much want to summon it below the Echo Talker, because Echo Talker has a bottom arrow. So summon Echo Talker, then summon Tri-Get Wizard, and you pretty much have a legit extra and monster zones, because you can actually summon monsters in the left and right side of Tri-Get Wizard. It can immediately pull those effects ASAP. Like, that's, in this case, Tri-Get Wizard, it's better than binary sorcerers, but again, it requires monsters, not tokens. That's the downside. If not, it will be pretty good. So yeah, guys, that's gonna be it. Hope you guys enjoyed this structure deck review. Again, guys, when this comes in November, hurry up and pick it up. This structure deck is gonna be good. I just hope Konami for the TCG doesn't change some cards from the actual OTG cards, because like I noticed, they changed some from the Link Strike, but most of them made it to the TCG. So hopefully all the cards we saw right now from the OCG card list gets to the TCG, because they're so good. And they hopefully don't change any of the effects, as again for the new Link and Cyberse Monsters. So yeah, guys, hope you guys enjoyed it, and see you all to the next video. Later, everyone.